welcome again to my channel. My name is Oluchi. If this is the first time you are seeing this face, to my returning subscribers, thank you very much for your support, for the massive support. Thank you for coming back again to see what we have today. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, I want you to please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. It's free. You are not paying YouTube for it, okay? Thank you. All right, let's get to the topic for today. My story actually started from secondary school, if I can remember very well. I noticed that I wasn't able to see from the back row, so I moved to the front so that I'll be able to see very well. And at this point, I didn't really take it as anything, and that's why I'm making this video, because you know that in Africa, especially in Nigeria, we have a way of, adapting, trying to manage a lot of things. And I was also having this right-sided eye pain, which I felt it was as a result of stress and all that. Now, fast forward to my 200 level in the university, the pain got worse, that it even limited me from using that eye to read most of the time. So what I will do is this: I will cover the eye because I was having pains and I was reading with only one eye. And that's where the problem lies, because I didn't even know what I was doing. And one of the treatments for this condition is actually to cover the good eye and keep using the one that had the problem to improve vision in that eye. But I was doing the opposite out of ignorance. Now, one of the days when we were having lecture, the lecturer asked us to do something after explaining to us that some persons are actually blind in one eye, but because the other eye is compensating for the one that is blind, they are not able to notice it. And she asked us to do something. She said we should close one of our eyes and see if we can see clearly with the other eye, and also do the same for the other eye. So I actually, of course, I'm right-handed. I closed my right eye first, and voila, I was seeing with my left eye. There was no problem until I closed my left eye. I noticed that everywhere was blur. I couldn't see with the right eye. Like, it's not that I couldn't see, I'm not blind. I was like, is this a joke? What did I do? I was like, is this a joke? I tried it again, the same thing. Tried it again, the same thing. So I looked at my neighbors like, do they have this kind of complaint? Nobody was saying anything. So I kept it to myself. I didn't tell anybody. I went home that day and I was thinking about this thing, thinking about it. So the next day or 2 days later, I ran to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, after a series of questions, that's history taking, examination, and of course they did some investigations, they made a diagnosis of amblyopia. And that brings me to our topic for today. But before that, let me share one funny experience I had as a result of this issue. When we were writing our end of posting test in obstetric and gynecology, I think my frame broke a day before that day or the morning of that exam. And because there was no way I could buy frame at that time, I decided to go with just the lens. I mean the right lens, because the problem was just on one eye, right? When I got to the exam hall, they arranged us according to our math numbers. And after the arrangement, I signaled one of the lecturers and told him that I can't see from the back. So he asked me to come to the front. But before that, he asked me, where is your glasses? I was like, I'm with it. When I sat down to write the exam, I still wasn't able to see clearly. So I brought out my beautiful right lens and placed it on my eye. the lecturer saw me and was like, is this the glasses you say you came with? I said, yes, sir. And the funny thing that happened that day, while I was writing the exam, the lens still fell off from my hands. And after that exam, the lecturer came to me. I was like, how much is glasses that you cannot buy? Oh God, it's not even funny. Or it's even when we were doing our ophthalmology posting, I was practically telling everybody to use my eye for experiments. If they say they want to check how to use retinoscope, I would say use my eye. If they say they want to check this one, I would say use my eye. Why was I doing that? Because I wanted to see if they would see any other pathology, but they didn't see anything. And that's why most times they may not see any problem. When you are looking at the person, you may not see any problem. But there is always reduced vision in one eye. It was only the visual acuity test that showed a disparity between the two eyes. Now, visual acuity test is a test that is used to assess how clearly you can see an object from a particular distance. Snelling's chart is one of the things that is commonly used, and the result has a numerator and a denominator. The numerator is the distance that you are away from the chart, while the denominator is the distance that someone with a better vision can still see that object that you are seeing at 6 meters. What I mean by this is this. Now, the result for my left eye was 6/6. That was normal. But for my right eye, it was 6/24 or so. I can't remember now. What it means is this. For this, my right eye, that is 6/24. That 6, which is the numerator, is the distance that I was standing from the charts. Why that 24 means that thing I'm able to see at 6 meters. Someone with a better vision, someone with a good vision, will still see that object standing 24 meters away. Let's say, for example, I was standing at 6 meters and seeing A. Another person with a good vision can stand at 24 meters and still be seeing that my A that I was seeing at 6 meters. And of course, you know that 24 meters is far away from 6 meters. It's far away, more far from the chart than 6 meters, right? So that's what it basically means. So having said that, let's go back to defining what amblyopia is. Amblyopia is actually the medical term for it, but it's commonly known as lazy eye. This has nothing to do with the personality of the person. It's just about the eye, and is a condition that occurs when there is poor vision in one eye, usually because the brain and the eye is not working together. Now, this is not to say that it cannot happen in two eyes. It can happen, but it's commoner, in one eye. It's an early childhood condition, and it has been shown that is the most common cause of decreased vision or legal blindness in one eye among children. And that's why I'm making this video, because when this condition is identified and treated early, the outcome is usually very good. Now, because of this poor vision in this particular eye, the brain starts focusing on the eye with the better vision. And this will lead to poor or immature development of the connection between that brain and the problematic eye. And that's why amblyopia is seen as a brain problem rather than an eye problem. Because once this particular eye is not being stimulated as it should, the cells that are responsible for vision in that eye will not be properly matured in the brain. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. This condition is actually seen more in children that are born prematurely, small for their age, or even people that have family history of this condition. That's there's someone in your family that has this condition, or children with developmental disabilities. They usually come down with this problem. Now, what is the cause of amblyopia? It's important to know that during that early childhood, when the brain is still developing, both eyes are meant to receive clear vision. Anything that interferes with this may actually lead to amblyopia. Things like congenital cataract, that's cloudiness of the lens, it will impair the child using that particular eye to see very well. And so the brain will focus on the good eye, thereby causing immature development of the cells that are responsible for vision in that particular eye. Another one is strabismus. For children that have strabismus, that's wandering eye, you find out that they are not able to focus one eye, and so the brain will also focus on the good eye. The third one is refractive error, and is not being picked up early and corrected. You find out that the brain will also focus on the good eye, neglecting the one that has the problem, and this will lead to amblyopia. And I think that was what I had then, but it was not picked up early. So how do you make diagnosis of this condition? Usually the eye is good. When you are looking at it, there is no problem. And most times usually discovered during eye examination. And that's why it's advisable that once your child is between 6 months to 1 year and also between 3 to 5 years, you should take your child for an eye examination. Because if this is picked early, like I said before, and treatment initiated, they have a better outcome. When you notice a decreased vision in one eye, like I did in class, is a sign that you should go see your eye doctor. Also, some persons that have refractive error can also have pains in the eyes. It's also a sign that you should go and see your doctor. Now, for children that have strabismus, and of course, if your child had what we call congenital cataract, like I said before, you should also go see your doctor. This is important because the sooner the better. How is amblyopia treated? Usually, the outcome of the treatment is dependent on the age at which it was diagnosed. The earlier the better, like I said. And this is not to say that if the diagnosis was made when you're an adult already, there won't be any better outcome for you. Of course, mine was made when I was already in the university, and I'm seeing an improvement. Now, the treatment involves the use of eye patch. You are given an eye patch to cover the good eye to enable the brain to focus on the problematic eye. That was where I was doing the opposite. Of course, that was out of ignorance, and that's why I'm making this video. That was what I was doing. I was actually covering the bad eye, and I kept using the good eye. I never knew that it was worsening the bad eye. Also, there is the use of eye drops. This is commonly used for children because most of these children will take off the eye patch, right? So the doctor will use an eye drop, apply it to the good eye so that it will be blurred to enable the brain to focus on the bad eye, right? On the one with the problem. There's also the use of glasses, contact lens, if you have refractive error like I was given, in order to help improve the vision in that particular eye. For children with congenital cataract, surgery may be needed. That brings me to the end of this video. Hope you're able to gain something. Now, I want us to do this exercise that I did in class. Close one of your eyes. See if you can see clearly with the other eye. Do the same for the other eye as well. See if you can see clearly with this eye. Let me know your results in the comment section. And if you have any eye problem at all, how did you find out? Please let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Hope you gained something. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.